The Friday Night Football Frenzy is presented by Bay State Savings Bank.
Coming up next on the college football preview edition of the Friday Night Football Frenzy. Hopes are high and the talent is deep on College Hill. We check in with the Holy Cross Crusaders. Assumption looks to build off their championship run of a year ago. We'll hear from the Hounds. Some locals are doing big things at the Heights. We catch up with Frenzy alums and the Eagles. And we'll visit all the local colleges as we get set for the 2016 season. Summer's over, the Frenzy starts right now.
Welcome to our college football preview. Friday Night Frenzy style. Kevin Shea, Andy Lacombe coming to you from Fitton Field today. We will break down all of the local college football teams, and believe it or not, it is football season again. We've been out there at all the camps. A lot of excitement around Central Mass with each team, with what they have coming back, new guys, just a new season.
And it starts here at Holy Cross, where the Crusaders are loaded with experience. They finished strong a season ago. You had a chance to catch up with them and talk about that experience and that power in the program.
For the first time in decades, Holy Cross football is a full scholarship program. The upgrade in depth and talent has the Crusaders ready to make a run at a Patriot League title.
Talent level has definitely, gotten better, and it's more competitive, and you always have to be, being at your best because someone beneath you might come and take your spot.
I really like the talent level of our team right now, but we're also playing against a lot of other talented teams, so I think the competition has stepped up quite a bit as well. So, obviously we can control what we have here. I really like our guys. I really think we've progressed. We've continued to build our roster with talented football players, but we're going to have a lot of competition in and outside the league with the competitive schedule that we play.
Really what it comes down to is how hard the guys work and how hard they work together, and I think that that's something that we've built on as these 4 years have gone on.
This summer was no vacation for the Crusaders. 90% of the players, including incoming freshmen, stayed in Worcester. The off-season workouts and 18 returning starters have the Purple hungry for their first Patriot League title since 2009.
They've worked hard. They've really pushed each other to get better in the weight room and on the field.
Having a lot of guys up for the summer, and then having, I think, 18 returning starters is building a lot of momentum for us, and I think that a lot of people took that to heart during the summer, and a lot of people worked very hard and made some tremendous gains.
It's almost like, we're not starting from scratch right now. We're, just going from where we left off like a week ago. So having the receivers out here, being able to throw with them every day is great, and just getting that chemistry down is huge.
For senior co-captains Peter Pujols and Luke Ford, there are high expectations on both sides of the ball. Expectations that this year's senior class hope translate into a season to remember.
Cherish this year, last year with all the guys, my class, all the seniors. We've had a, kind of a journey, but we're looking to end it on a real high note.
High expectations for the defense, and that doesn't just come from being a captain that's on the defense, but just knowing that the talent and the tools that we have, we got young guys, old guys that are going to contribute. So I'm really excited for what we're going to do this season.
Kev, you found out there's tons of experience, tons of talent, and there's a real pipeline of power coming from the Midwest for Holy Cross.
Yeah, that Chicago area. You look at the captains for Holy Cross, quarterback Peter Pujols, free safety Luke Ford. These guys have been teammates. They have been captains together since elementary school. It's a real unique story.
It's great. I love Luke. He's, he's a great leader. He always, makes the players around him better, and he's a great guy to compete against every day, being, on the defensive side of the ball. And we've kind of always gone at it for the last 8 years, and it's great to have him on my side.
To lead with somebody who you know them very well and you don't have any trouble communicating with one another, so I think that definitely adds a positive element to the way that we kind of lead the team.
They're great leaders. They do what they're supposed to do. They lead by example on and off the field. They're both great players. They're both great students. They're both great citizens. But there's a chemistry between them that's also there with our senior class and then extended to the rest of the team.
We kind of got recruited together, to be honest, and we got offered at the same time. Luke ended up committing a couple weeks earlier, and then knowing he was coming here kind of made it an easier decision for me just to be with a familiar face from high school and even from grade school. And
I'm sure Peter will tell a different story, but he definitely followed me here. I was the first one to commit amongst me, Peter, and Jimmy Murray, senior offensive lineman. So whatever those two might tell you, they definitely followed me here.
There's a comfort level, a trust that they've built up, and I think that's going to go a long way.
You know, the Assumption College Greyhounds had a historic season a year ago, winning their conference, going to the postseason, and now they're not sneaking up on anybody.
No, it's a different field for Assumption this year in preseason camp. They're NE10 champs, defending NE10 champs. They're an NCAA team. This year they are the hunted, not the hunter.
The 2015 season for the Assumption College Greyhounds was one for the history books. After clinching the NE10 conference title, the Hounds advanced to the second round of the NCAA Division II playoffs before losing to powerhouse Slippery Rock. This year's edition of the Greyhounds knows that 2015 is in the past, and it's time to take the next step as a program.
We're all really excited and hyped up to get after it as a unit, but I mean, as far as last season goes, what's done is done. We need to come back and work harder than we ever did if we want to accomplish things we did last season.
Obviously, we want to repeat as NE10 champions and even go further into the playoffs, but we know that that has to go day by day, one practice, one play, one game at a time, week by week. So we know it all starts now today and every day from here on out. So we just know we got to come and work hard every single day because we got that big target on our back.
The 2016 Greyhounds will not be sneaking up on anyone this season. Ranked in the preseason top 25 nationally and picked to repeat as NE10 champions, Coach Bob Chesney and the Hounds are excited for another big season on Salisbury Street.
It's like your birthday. Actually, yesterday was my birthday, and that was the first day of check-in. You couldn't ask for anything more. A hard-working group of people. I like the way we ended last season. I like the way we rolled that momentum into the spring, and they're just tough kids right now. We just got to make sure we keep demanding and demanding and demanding that from them.
We just couldn't wait to get back out here and get back to work. After all the success we had last year, we just wanted to double up and come back out here with the same intensity and just get another ring.
At no point can we be the ones as coaches to let up. And if we don't let up, there's no way they will.
Assumption's obviously going to be really talented. They're also stocked with local guys. Not the only team, though. Boston College has a lot of local kids that are making an impact for the Eagles.
Yeah, you know, and how many times could you see three guys who played their football on Friday nights here in Central Mass that could make an impact and be big-time players if the Eagles are to turn things around this season? After a 2015 campaign without an ACC win, the Boston College Eagles are looking to rebound. For BC to compete, three locals will have to play big roles. Shepherd Hill alum Chris Lindstrom was thrown into the fire as a true freshman. The offensive lineman is a year wiser and 40 pounds heavier. And Lindstrom is now ready for a breakout year at the Heights.
Big difference. I'm much more mentally prepared. The mental mistakes I've cut down a lot, and it's a big adjustment. I kind of understand and know what to expect coming into camp, and it's kind of a nice feeling, but got to work every single day to improve on different things.
Playing in year one and getting a lot of that, repetitions and a lot of game reps, he should make big strides. He plays explosive, he plays powerful. He's had another year in the weight room, so he's bigger, he's stronger, he's faster, he's more physical. He understands the offense, so it's expecting to have a good growth year for him. And just keep getting better and better.
He was forced into the fire and got his tail whipped around a fair amount. He whipped some tail every once in a while, but he got whipped a lot. He's very ready to play. He's one of our very best offensive linemen. You'd like 10 of him now. He is aggressive, and he's a get after it guy, and he's got some size now to match up to these 305, 310 pound inside guys that we play against.
The experience now that I know what to expect going into a game, and that how hard I have to work in preparation for that.
In the Eagles secondary, Doherty alum and junior Isaac Yadam is looking for a bounce-back season. After injuries plagued him throughout the 2015 campaign, Yadam is healthy and figures to be a leader on the BC defense.
I'm happy to be back after my shoulder injury last year, so we just out there competing every day. Number one thing I'm just trying to do is just stay healthy the whole entire season. After that, I'm just trying to make more plays on the ball, help our defense make more plays, and just win more games.
He looks like $1 million right now, so he's bounced back pretty well. So you wouldn't be able to tell if there was any issue at all. He's just been tremendous. Really, really physical in practice, and has just kind of taken a leadership role. We expect him to have a huge season, and I think he's going to have a huge role for us, to be honest with you, to get us to where we want to go, and we believe in him wholeheartedly.
Our goal as a secondary is to be the best. Every day we train to be the best, we practice to be the best. So my role in the secondary, I'm just trying to make more plays on the ball, create more turnovers, and make sure that everything we do, we practice at a high level to be the best secondary in the country.
A move to running back has put St. John's alum Davon Jones in the mix on the Eagles offense. After redshirting last year, the Worcester native is ready to make an impact on the field and at the same time represent Central Mass football.
Coming in as a redshirt freshman, that year I took advantage of just going to the weight room, getting stronger, learning the offense and the defense at the time. But I transitioned to playing running back during the spring ball, and that's what I've been doing now. And I think, like, in terms of the college game, like, it's a faster game, but I mean, it's still football. I talked to Isaac a lot, it's one of my close friends, and he really helped me adapt to the college game as well when I first came in there as a freshman. So, I mean, just having little guys like that is just cool. It shows how much talent we really have around Central Mass in that area.
All right, so locals figure to play a big role for Boston College. Also here, closer to home, we're going to go around the area, take a look at the D3 schools making an impact this season.
Welcome back, everyone. Kevin Shea, Andy Lacombe coming to you from Fitton Field. It is the college football preview of the Frenzy. And I'll tell you, a lot of big things happened last year at WPI, and now the bar is set even higher.
Yeah, made the bowl a year ago, and it's left a little bit of unfinished business and a bitter taste in their mouth. The Engineers wanting bigger and better things this season.
We have a lot of guys that came in very prepared to play college football this year, and you know, it sounds like something that a lot of teams should be able to say, but you know, we have a lot of guys that clearly worked their tails off this summer and are excited to have the opportunities to come out and step on the field on Saturdays.
I think the ceiling is very high for this team, being in the third year of our offense run under Coach Hitch. I think we've developed our play-action game a lot. We've been able to run the ball pretty successfully, and I'm hoping we can continue that trend going into the season. First bowl game in team history, that definitely put us on a track to success. Hopefully that'll catapult us into this season. There's nothing better than this, just being out here with my friends, doing what we love. You know, it's great to get back after the summer. I had a great summer, but it's great to be back here at school and working hard with my friends.
We want to go out with a bang. We want to win. We want to win it all. We want that ring, and we just want to go 10-0. But we're going to take it one game at a time and see how everything goes. So it should be a fun year.
So WPI looking to take that next step after a marquee season a year ago. Worcester State looking to get back on track as well.
Yeah, you look at the tradition of Worcester State, and they've had so much success under Brian Cullen. They're noted for that high-flying, gunslinging offense, their defense flying around, creating havoc. This year, they got some holes to fill on that offense with quarterback and running back, but a lot of optimism right now with the blue and gold.
It was a long summer for us, you know, coming off of a season that, you know, unfortunately wasn't our best this past year. Very excited this whole summer. We worked hard when it came to the offseason. We had a great offseason when it came to our strength and conditioning. We're ready to move into our new athletic wellness facility right now. And it's just a lot of hype on the team. We had a great recruiting class, a lot of core guys back this year, and we're ready to get after it.
Yeah, quarterback is wide open. We have about 5 guys looking into it now. And then running back, we're young at. You know, Dexter Andrews is one of the top guy returning. And then as far as everybody else, all our receivers return. Offensive line has really gotten a lot stronger, and defensively. So, and all our kickers are back. So, you know, we take care of the quarterback, running back position. I think we'll be pretty good.
Historic season for Becker last year. They broke the program record for wins in a season, and you know, they did it with a lot of local kids. Great off season for the Hawks too. And again, this is another program that is setting the bar even higher year to year.
Yeah, new coach, but a familiar face in Frank Fercucci, who takes over for Coach Licton. And this team, positive in camp this preseason, that they're going to take the next step.
He brings positive and positive energy, and that's what he brings. He brings a lot of enthusiastic and a lot of energy to the team, and it gives us players the ability to feed off that and, you know, bounce around that energy around everybody else throughout the team. When it comes from being a senior, being a freshman, everybody has the same high energy and they want the will to win, and we win every single day.
As a defensive player, it hasn't changed, you know what I mean? He's still the same. He's still the same guy, and what he brings to the table, he brings experience. He's been there before. He's won championships, so he brings all that to us.
positive energy. He knows what he's talking about. He's a great coach, and everyone understands that, and we're all moving in the right direction.
After last year, we're really coming in excited, and Coach Vicucci, he's running this program great. We're loving it, and we're coming out here having fun. We're getting a lot of good freshmen this year. They're catching on, defense, offense, and they could make a big impact.
Definitely a different feeling in camp this year. Following up on last year's success, you know, the expectations are higher. The bar has been raised. You know, the kids really set the expectations now, and their expectation is what we did last year or better.
Just down the road from Becker, Anna Maria and Coach Vince Sinagra trying to get on the winning ways this season and likes who he has in camp this year.
Yeah, you know what, with Vince Sinagra, it's not about how many kids are in camp, it's about what the quality of the kids that he has in camp. All about athletes for Coach Sinagra. The AMCATs looking for a big year.
We came off the spring. A key phrase for us this year is what if. I don't want to come off the field any time or any game saying what if we had done this. So I think that's the mantra we took in the spring in the weight room and doing us. So I just told them don't leave anything behind. Anything, aspirations that you have, don't make them small, make them large, make your goals large.
The program has changed a lot since my 4 years here. There's a lot of kids, new kids, we recruit a lot of new kids from different areas like Maryland, Florida, CT, New York, so we're branching out a little bit.
Taking it down the road now to Nichols College and Dale Olmsted in his third season with the Nichols Bison. And Nichols, with them, number one thing, it's about attitude.
Definitely win some conference games. You know, we've been struggling doing that. Week 1 against Westfield's always the most important game, in my opinion, so we got to get that win because it sets the tone for the rest of the season. We definitely have a schedule that's in our favor, so we can start off strong and then finish strong as well.
We have a great core group of guys right now that are all tired of losing. So now we're just taking it day by day, game by game, and just hoping to see a turnaround this year.
You know, I think we're at the point where everyone's sick of losing. You know, everyone wants to get back on that winning streak. So I think that just all the past games in the past have been motivation for me, at least.
The freshmen we brought in, they're looking for the change as well. You know, not only did they want to be college football players, but they also wanted that challenge to help turn the program around, and we're very excited for that.
All right, we'll be back with plenty more of our college football preview from the Frenzy right after this.
The Friday Night Football Frenzy is brought to you by Nichols College. Learn, lead, succeed. Berterra Nissan of Auburn. Unibank. Gucci's Fine Jewelry. The law offices of Joseph J. Carigula. The Sullivan Group. The Central Mass Safety Council. And Milford Federal.
Welcome back. We're going to take a look back. A lot of history made on this field for sure. And as a little kid, I was down in that end zone watching Gordie Lockbaum play. It's hard to believe it's been 30 years since he was on the national scene.
Yeah, incredible. Really the most famous alum of this Holy Cross football program. And you look at how many years they've played football up here at Holy Cross. Gordie Lockbaum is the name that stands out. No matter what age you are, you remember that great run his junior and senior year. 5th in the Heisman as a junior, 3rd in the Heisman as a senior. We had a chance to sit down and talk with Gordie. Gordie, 30th anniversary of your junior year here at Holy Cross, kind of when you burst on the national scene as a two-way player. And what do you remember about that season and about all the national attention that you were getting?
Well, the season didn't start off with all that attention because you know, we started our first game here on Fitton Field against Lehigh, and we snuck out a win, and it was a tight game, but I got to play a little bit of offense and defense, and so, you know, I was getting comfortable in that position. But the notoriety really hadn't started until the mid-season, so at that point we were just focused on winning some games and trying to get back on track after that tough season in '85.
The game that kind of really burst you on the national scene was that game at Army, West Point, 40,000 people in the stands. You guys beat Army, stopping them on the final play of the game defensively. And in that game, you had over 140 snaps.
I was healthy. I was in good shape at that time, and you know, I worked out hard over the summer and got myself ready to go, so I felt like I could play every snap. But the adrenaline was flowing, and the competitiveness of the game kept me going, and just wanting to win. I mean, it was a great environment. Playing down at West Point is the best. And we had a lot of fans there because we have a huge New York contingency that made their way to the game. And we had a lot of people that used to travel with us.
National news was made by Sports Illustrated, and Rick Riley did a feature on you, and then everyone in the country got to hear about you, and the New York Times did one after the Army game.
All the stations started coming in and doing exposés and some interviews, and they usually put some fun spins on it. And the guys, as you know, here, they're a lot of fun. They're very intelligent, so they were very witty with a lot of their responses when they got interviewed. But at the end of the day, they loved having the TV cameras here because that got them exposure as well. So everybody really jumped on board.
Talk about how you balanced everything and how you prioritized your academics.
We were dialed in on the schedule. So Greg Burke and Jeff Nelson in the sports information office, they knew my schedule. They knew what was possible. We communicated a lot. And typically, I'd show up for an interview and they were ready to go.
How difficult was it physically to play offense, defense, starting both ways, and special teams? Because you were a kick returner and a punt returner as well.
My legs would usually be back maybe Thursday. You know, I literally, you're working out and you get your legs back and you get those twitch muscles are rested and ready to go by Thursday. But for the most part, I'm sure my practice speed wasn't all that fast early in the week.
Your junior year to Boston College, you guys played. It was the last year Holy Cross played BC. You're leading 14-0 at the half. They come back to win. What do you remember about that game? And obviously, it's one of the great rivalries.
I remember going up 14-0, just that, and just this place exploding with energy, and just the crowd just went bananas. And that was really exciting. But the field started to thaw. The size of the players started to wear us out a little bit, and they beat us up pretty good in the second half. But for the most part, we knew we could compete athletically, but they were a good team.
Your junior and senior year, what were those years like being a football player here at Holy Cross and going in and I'm sure every week, no matter what opponent was, and you guys played Ivy League teams, Division I teams, the newly formed Patriot League, just expecting to win?
We felt like we had the talent and that if we stuck to the game plan and executed, played good fundamental football, that we would win games. But coaches were very careful not to allow us to get cocky, and I don't think we were at all, but we were confident.
You mentioned the coaching staff, and Coach Duffner was the head coach, but you had a lot of coaches that went on to coach in the NFL.
He had a keen ability to motivate every player in different ways, and he knew how to get people going. He knew how to push and get every ounce of effort out of you, and every bit of commitment that he wanted.
Your junior year, 5th in the Heisman, senior year, 3rd in the Heisman. What do you remember about the Heisman Trophy selection?
I grew up watching the Heisman and, dreaming of things like that, because I allowed myself to have big dreams and knowing, of course, some of these things wouldn't happen. So when that kind of fell in my lap, that was one of those things that you would never expect could happen.
When you look back now, 30 years later, what sticks out in your memory of those teams?
Coming back and all the hugs and just getting ready to get after it and start the process, start that march through the season, through camp, then into the season, starting the school year, and just getting going. It was so exciting. It was great to just crank up the season. That's what I remember most.
Great to talk to Gordie. The big thing to remember is back then, there was no great cable explosion. There wasn't the internet. I mean, you had college football on 3 stations. That was it. You learned about it from your local paper, or Sports Illustrated is how you learned about things nationally. Gordie was all over national publications. He was all over those 3 stations that covered ABC, NBC, and CBS that covered college football. It's incredible to kind of think how big he was and how big that story was, not only here in Worcester, but nationally.
And before guys like Deion Sanders and other great athletes played on both sides of the ball, there was Gordie Lockbaum doing it at a high level here at Holy Cross.
Yeah, he was Mr. Football for Holy Cross. All right, we're back with plenty more right after this.
Welcome back. Well, hard to believe the college football season is finally here. Holy Cross won't play here at Fitton Field until their 4th week of the season in their home opener, but it's getting close.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a tough road for Holy Cross out of the gate. 3 road games against very tough opponents, but I'll tell you what, a lot of optimism here. I'm excited about Holy Cross's season. I'm excited about all of the college football teams that we just previewed in Central Mass. You look at the athletes and the talent they have out there. It's going to be a fun season. A week from tonight, we are also going to have our high school football preview show, the Frenzy High School style, break down the local high schools, but also have some highlights because the colleges are getting underway next Friday night. We're going to have all those highlights. We're your home for local high school and college football. Charter TV 3.
Are we going to pick a few teams?
If we have
Get
time.
some people mad at us.
If we have time. I doubt it. That's all the time that we have for today. For Andy Lacombe, I'm Kevin Shea. Thanks for watching The Frenzy. We'll see you again next week.